Shut up and sit down.
What's the story, internet? Hope everyone is having a wonderful day so far. Not going to hang around too long because I've got a lot to talk about. But before I get into the Premier League, let's talk about some shocks around the other leagues. This one not necessarily a shock, but Red Bull Leipzig 3, Bayern Munich 3. So Leipzig continue to be one of those teams that just are a thorn in the side of the old guard in the Bundesliga. Although Leipzig were 3-2 ahead at one point, and Bayern Munich ended up equalising. So at least Bayern came away with a point from their perspective. Also, Dortmund won, Eintracht Frankfurt won. So again, a little bit of not necessarily a shock, but you would have expected Dortmund to get the win there. So it leaves for a very interesting Bundesliga. Bayern Munich in first with 23 points, Leverkusen in second with 22 points, Leipzig in third with 21 points, Dortmund in fourth with 19 points, and Wolfsburg in fifth with 18 points. So very, very interesting Bundesliga table right there. So moving on to La Liga, Cadiz beating Barcelona 2-1. So a couple of interesting statistics there. Lionel Messi has not scored in his last 63 free kicks, and people are saying that means that the league has finally figured out what he does and how to stop him. And the other statistic is that Cadiz become the first team to beat Real Madrid, Barcelona and Athletic Bilbao away for the first time in, I think it's 43 years. It's either 43 or 63 years. And the last team to do it was Cadiz. So they broke their own record. But fair play to Cadiz. They're just doing so well at the minute. They're just absolutely killing it for a team that just got promoted. To be in fifth with 18 points is crazy. So yeah, fair play to the small team. So moving on to the Premier League. Burnley won, Everton won. Very well played from Burnley. It's a shame that they couldn't hold out for the 3 points because they were playing very well. But at the same time, I think they deserved at least a point. Both teams were battling, and yeah, fair play to them. Dominic Calvert-Lewin has the most goals inside the box in the entire continent, which is ridiculous. So fair play to him. It's exciting news for England that he's doing so well. It really is. The likes of him, Ollie Watkins, Jack Grealish, doing well is fantastic news. That's great news for when the Euros come around. It really is. Manchester City 2, Fulham 0. To be expected, really. Fulham haven't been playing very well, really. You would have thought it would have been more, actually. But fair play to Fulham. They kept it to 2. And yeah, I think that's all you can say, really. It was away at the Etihad. It was going to take a big turnaround to get something from that. Right, on to the one that I wanted to talk about, and the reason that I'm wearing a blue United shirt is because it's got Pogba on the back. West Ham won, Manchester United 3. West Ham were leading 1-0 in the first half, and then Manchester United came back to win 3-1. An incredible goal from Paul Pogba, and then Mason Greenwood, Marcus Rashford just rounded it off, and we could have had more, to be fair. But in the first half, West Ham should have been up about 4 or 5-0. It was one of those matches where the first half was embarrassing, and the commentator put it probably the best way that I've heard it be described, or heard Manchester United be described. It's like Jekyll and Hyde. It really is. The first half and the second half are completely different. The first half we just didn't show up, and they said, can we get a hypnotist in to convince the players that Manchester United are losing 1-0 from the first whistle, and then maybe they'll play properly. But no, a very good performance in the end, and the result is the most important thing. So, on to Chelsea versus Leeds. Leeds were 1-0 up after 4 minutes. You thought it was going to be their day at Stamford Bridge, but unfortunately, Giroud, Kurt Zouma and Pulisic had other ideas. Chelsea dominated the match. Leeds had the possession, but Chelsea had 23 shots and 11 of those on target, compared to Leeds' 8 and 3. Chelsea just played very, very well, and I'm not surprised that they won. With the way that Leeds were playing recently, you thought that they could have done something, but at the same time, they can't have a 100% record. They're not Leicester in their game-winning season, so just the fact that they've been doing so well is a credit. So fair play to them for leading, and on to the next one for them. Moving on to Sunday's matches, Crystal Palace 5, West Brom 1. So this shuts me up a little bit because I said this was going to be a low-scoring game. So yeah, fair play to Crystal Palace. They absolutely proved me wrong. 2 goals from Wilfried Zaha and 2 goals from Christian Benteke, of all people. Forgot he was even still playing. Yeah, great result for Crystal Palace. West Brom, they're just so night and day at the minute. They're a bit of a Jekyll and a Hyde team as well, where one week they'll have an incredible game against Manchester United, and then the next couple of weeks they'll just not show up. So, but fair play to Crystal Palace. They have shown that on their day they can do incredible things. Leicester City 2, Sheffield United 1. Poor Sheffield United. They're just not keeping it going at the minute. I mean, Ollie McBurney, who scored, he got the first goal for their 2 strikers this season, in Ollie McBurney and McGoldrick, and that's just an awful statistic. After how many games have we played? 10 or 11 games played. That's just an awful statistic. 4 shots and 1 on target at home. Only 29% possession. And then to rub salt in the wounds, Jamie Vardy scores the winner, and he's a Sheffield Wednesday fan, and then goes and absolutely slide tackles the hell out of the corner flag and makes it explode. So yeah, poor Sheffield United, but credit to Leicester. They're still showing that they're still consistently a tough team to go and play. So, or to have come and play you, since it was at home. Right, so I'm going to move on to the Liverpool match before we talk about the North London derby. So, Liverpool 4, Wolves 0. Never really looked in any doubt. Wolves had a decent amount of shots, but just the way that Liverpool were playing, it was one-way traffic, really. Especially after Mohamed Salah scored the first goal, it didn't look like it was going to go any other way, really. So yeah, I don't think there's too much more to say about that. I didn't see the first half, and I heard there was a rumbling of something to do with VAR, but I just ignored that because that seems to be every match in the Premier League at the minute. There's always some sort of VAR hijinks. So, but yeah, on to the big match of the weekend. We had the North London derby, and this was a definition of a Jose Mourinho masterclass. He parked the bus, he shut up shop, counter-attack, and won, and absolutely destroyed Arsenal on the counter-attack. Harry Kane's goal just before the half-time was a perfect example of a counter-attack, and it was the perfect example of when a ball is hit, it stays hit, and it just flew into the back of the net. But fair play, they only had 30% possession, had 6 shots with 3 on target, but out of those 3, they scored 2. What more can you say? He is efficient when he's on his day, and he did that at Manchester United when he had his time, when we won the League Cup and the Europa League. So if he can continue, he has the staff, the likes of Gareth Bale, Harry Kane and Heung-min Son to continue it. So that means that Tottenham are in first on 24 points, and it means that Arsenal have dropped to 15th with 13 points. Yeah, they need to sort out their strikers because they're just not firing at the moment. So anyway, that was my review of the weekend's football. I'll be back with you either tomorrow evening or first thing Tuesday morning. I haven't decided when I'm going to put the video out yet, for a preview of the Champions League. And I'll be back on Tuesday with a review of Tuesday's football, likewise preview and review on Wednesday. But as always, I hope you're all staying well, keeping out of trouble. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. And until next time, ta-ra for now.